Does that make sense, Kareem? Ask anyone, hey, if you want to share a Meetup account, Sunnyvale Speakeasies and another one, and if you get one other one, then the cost becomes only one third, like $70 per year, not 100 or not $200 per year.
Okay. Well, I'll also could reach my sisters. Like we're in group E2, so maybe a sister
Yes.
club will be more
Yeah.
effective. So that
Perfect.
can be something we can discuss. My area director. Hi, Philip.
See, you're ready. Yeah. So, and if you want the third club, I can give you a third club. I know Alamedan Valley Toastmasters, they're looking for someone to share the Meetup account with.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead, time.
Yes. My feedback also when people actually say that they going, like they be part of your meetup page and they say that they're gonna attend a meeting, expect half of those members, those new people sign up will show up because they want to go, but then there's some reason they won't be there. So half of the time, if like 6 people saying that they're gonna go to your meeting, expect about 3. And when you got those 3 people showed up, remember to get the contact information and make sure that they part of your frequent contact, meaning that get your phone number so that you can follow up with them.
Okay, that's very good. But one thing which Tam said, which I didn't know, was they collect the email address immediately. So it seems like when you're trying to join that meetup, you're asking for an email address. Is that correct? That is so
That's
important. Email address is the treasure you want to keep on collecting. And I'll keep on telling you many times during this session, email addresses are your gold because it's not just for present, it's also for the future. Because they might not be ready now, but if you keep on consistently sending them the agenda one day before with the meeting link, maybe someday they will show up. I will share a success story. I had this member, Rishikesh. He was a member maybe 1.5 year ago, but 24 hours before, I would send out a mail merge to 300 people. And I've been sending it out. And finally, he joined yesterday and he said, I'm ready to join again. We collect each and every email address of a person who comes in our meeting, and that becomes our database. And email campaigning is very, very powerful. I have taken clubs with no meetings, and I will have 8 members by in a month, just having a good email campaign. And maybe in next 1 month, I can add 3 more and get that club distinguished. Okay, it has to be consistent, and your agenda and everything has to be perfect. Any other questions for Tam before we move on to secret number 2? Okay, let's move on to secret number 2. Thank you so much, Tam. Really appreciate it. Okay, do you know what this is? Anyone?
It's a website tool.
Perfect, Philip. There is this club. When I was a club growth director, I appointed a club coach because that club was closing, kind of 8 to 9 or 10 members. And today we will learn their success story. And again, this is a community club, not a corporate club. Please help me welcome Valerie Bostrom.
Thank you, Abhijit. Yes, I am a member of Milpitas Toastmasters Club. And as Abhijit said, during the pandemic, when I first joined, the club was a struggling one. We had like 3 to 5 members showing up every meeting. We barely were hanging on. We were just below the 8-member threshold. And we have to do something. And Abhijit appointed a coach for us who kind of helped revamp our meetings, and we started getting back on track. But what really started with us is, I agree with Tam that we started with Meetup, and we just invested in a Meetup page, and we started posting our daily updates, and then we started getting a steady stream of guests. But then over time, we decided, okay, we're going to transition from Meetup to Wix. And Wix is a website building tool. It is free. We are currently on the basic plan, but there is also a premium plan as well if you want to invest a little more, but we found the basic plan is more than enough for us. What it is just basically it has templates that you can build your own website with, or you can just start from scratch. It doesn't really take any skill or expertise. We didn't have any skill or expertise. We just kind of started fiddling around with it and created a website. And there's a lot of different tools in Wix. There's not just the website itself, but it has the capability of sending out newsletters, sending out mass emails. You have forums. Users can create accounts. There's also blogs. There's just so much more, and that's just the free account itself. So basically that's what we're doing. And ever since we opened the Wix website, for a while, we didn't really have any new guests, but then we gave it maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, and then guests started showing up. And now we just get a steady stream of guests every week. We have like maybe 1 or 2 or even 3 guests each meeting. And they all say that they came from the Wix website. So there's a lot of other website building tools out there. I know clubs use Squarespace. I've seen Blogspot, probably others I'm not aware of, but personally, we use Wix, and Wix has been fantastic for us. And also one other thing is, I also agree with Tam, is that the secret is to follow up immediately. If you get a guest inquiry saying, hey, I would like to join your meeting, follow up as soon as possible, preferably as soon as you get that notification on your phone, email them immediately, because we have found through trial and error, if you wait, say 1 or 2 days to follow up with the guest, they're a lot less likely to reply or show up, because they might lose interest, or they might say like, hey, you're not responding to me, I'm going somewhere else. So follow up as soon as you can. And yeah, we've been doing well ever since.
Valerie, I have a question. Just want to clarify. This helps you build a website so you get visibility from Google search, or how?
Yes, it does. This does link automatically to Google. So you just create a free Wix account, and then it will get listed on Google, but it's going to take a little bit of time. It might take some weeks. It might even take a month to eventually get higher on the Google list. And then people will Google you, and they will find you on Google.
Do you have any tricks to make your ranking higher?
I guess I could leave that to the SEO optimization people here, but I think generally just keep it updated, make it look nice, have lots of pictures. I just use valuable keywords, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Another thing is they have the city name in their club name. Okay, that is huge. Okay, yes, Maria, go ahead.
I just noticed we have a website, but I think that it's also important you have Milpitas Toastmasters, we have Oratory Otters. And when you're looking for a club, you're looking like for Toastmasters, and perhaps ours doesn't get that many, people don't find it because the name Oratory Otters without Toastmasters does not, work on that's what I'm figuring might be happening with us.
Yes, and you can put oratory otters and then put the city name, like what True Talking Toastmasters did. True Talking San Jose. See, having that city name is huge, because what people do, they search in their neighborhoods. Okay. Any other questions for Valerie? Yes, Gracie, go ahead.
So I guess my question, I know this is a separate website from the international one. However, is this website also linked to the main international website at some areas, or is it completely separate? I don't know if I
think,
phrase
sorry.
that.
Gracie, can you repeat the question?
So I guess the main question is this website that was created using the Wix,
Mhm.
is that one linked back to the international Toastmaster website?
Oh,
We
no.
actually don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
our Find a Page does link to our Wix, but we have not set it the other way around. You can if you want to, but we haven't done that.
Okay.
Perfect. If there are no other questions, we'll move on to the third marketing secrets. See, there are two things which are coming out from both first and second. They do very aggressive follow-up. Very aggressive follow-up. That's one important thing. Second, both of them are leveraging their city name. Leveraging their city name. Okay. And both these clubs have an in-person presence. We'll now move on to our third secret. Let's hope. Let me see where my presentation went.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
What is in-person presence? What do you mean?
Because they meet in person.
I see.
And clubs that are meeting in person, their membership is going up. Like Cupertino Toastmasters, they need to meet in person. If they need to sustain themselves, they have to meet in person. They have a big name, but that name is not going to help them anymore because no in-person presence. Ramesh, that's a challenge for you.
So we started once in a month now.
Oh, once in a month now, at least 2 times in a month,
Yeah.
2 times in a month, because that's very important. Okay, another thing, what we can do is what I was saying before, is your treasure is your email addresses. I have a club, Intercontinental Toastmasters. We have been collecting email addresses since 3 years. Today, we have 1,000 email addresses. That's our treasure. We are down 5 people, and I want to get them to 20. What I'm doing is 24 hours before, I have the meeting theme, I have the agenda. I'm using Mail Merge to send out a blast email with the meeting link as well as agenda. That is helping me to at least get a couple of guests in the meeting. Collecting the email addresses, as Tam said, is very, very important. That becomes your treasure, which you can leverage now or in the future. But keep on sending those emails 24 hours before to everyone. Okay. But one fine thing is having good meetings is absolutely important. When I come to your meeting and I don't get value for it, if you are not going to be able to create value for it, I'm not going to come back. So make sure your evaluations are very strong, your table topics are very strong. Make adjustments just before the meeting starts. So when the meeting starts, you are giving your best. So that is the thing which I'm using for, like there was this club, Toastrix. We started with 6 members. We are now getting closer. Like sometimes what I will do is, I will also capture the email which I'm sending out in the email blast. I'll also put them in various WhatsApp groups. And someone sometimes hits it and shows up in the meeting. I use Canva to create posters. We always have a theme for the meeting. Okay. Next secret I'm going to talk about is this is for mostly for a corporate club, but they also need a good thing. Good planning. So this is a real open house which just happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. The club name is Toast It Now. If I tell you, you will be blown away. There were 80 people in person. Let me read from my email how many people showed up. So I don't remember the exact numbers, but I want to tell you that. So 300 people registered, 200 plus people showed up, 80 people in person. They had one of the VPs as their keynote speaker. They had a very strong PR communications flyer which went out for the open house. They also used their Slack for the communication. And they also had clear proposition. Are you often presenting at work, leading a meeting, or want to be ready when these opportunities arise? So how they're targeting the audience. Creating a value proposition is very, very important. They even said that their dues are paid by their company. And they had a strong officer, clear set of responsibilities. Actually, they divided the responsibilities very well. And now they're working on doing a follow-up. I'm challenging them, hey, at least get 10 members from this. What I will do is, I asked her to send out a complete list of things what she did. I'm going to send this out to all of you. She showed me all the 5-point things she did. I will now take you back to 2 years ago when I did the open house. I was an area director and that club was at 11 members at that moment. What we did in that open house is I had one speech, 2 or 3 table topics, evaluations, and then I had a special thing called as panel discussion. And we had a panel discussion about impact of Toastmasters. We had 3 different Toastmasters with different years of experience. And we asked them, okay, how did Toastmasters impact you? And when the guests are there, and they hear all these things, they get motivated. We created a connection with them. As soon as they came in, we asked them, what brings you to Toastmasters? And after the meeting got over, we connected with them, asking them, how was your experience? We did a good aggressive follow-up. We ended up getting 10 members from that open house at eBay Toastmasters in 2021 October. And now they're taking things to the completely next level. That time we only had, I think, 45 people. This time they had 80 people in person. So we can do things, okay? We just have to be very innovative, to the point. Marketing campaign has to be precise. Any questions? I'll share the exact details about how they did it.
I'm curious about how did you get the VP from the company to support?
That's one thing I will ask Hang. Okay, Wendy, you are the next CGD. I want you to host Hang. Okay, have a discussion with her. How did she manage to do that?
Okay.
Okay. Moving on. We'll now talk about how to close. Closing is very, very important. But my question to you is, why does closing matters? Maria.
I think that closing matters because you just gain another member. You close the deal. There's a positive here, and you're hopeful that If you get them at your meeting, they like your meeting. You know, that's why it's important. You're gonna gain.
Yes. Sometimes you do so much of a big work putting on the show, having that open house, that perfect meetings after meetings, but if you don't follow up, you're not going to get that member. So following up is a key. And here is the way to do it. Here are some of the secrets which we learned from other people. The first thing, you have a very short window. As soon as they come to the meeting, you have less than 24 hours. This is what I do at my corporate club. I will immediately slack them in 2 to 3 hours. I'll ask them, hey, what do you want to get out of Toastmasters? Why? Why are you coming? And then I share that in our club, we have club mentors. You will get a mentor who will help you to get those things that you need, or your needs will be met because of the mentor. And then I share my story. How has Toastmasters impacted me? So when we are having this back and forth, we create that connection. I ask them to come back again to the next meeting. And if I feel very comfortable, I'll ask that magic question. Would you like to join? My goal is to inspire them to join. If it's a community club, I'll try to see if I can get their WhatsApp number. If I have the email address, I'll try to set up a Zoom call with them, a 15-minute Zoom call. And in Zoom call, I'll follow the same steps. The one thing I'll tell you, the more you do, the better you become at connecting, inspiring, and getting them on board. First time is harder. Second time is less. Now, if you give me 15 minutes, I can get them to join Toastmasters. So these are the steps, very important steps. And closing is important. Closing and follow up. Any questions regarding this? We have less than 46 days left. We can all make a difference. And the district is going to have good specials coming up in June. Like if you add every member you add in the month of June, you will get $25 credit for each member you add. So there is a big incentive for you. Even if you complete your educational levels, there is a big incentive for that. So take advantage of these incentives. Okay. Any questions for me?
Is Meetup, at first we have to get the guests. Is Meetup a hard thing to navigate? I've never used it.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. And if you need help, Maria, call me. I will get you help. We have many people who are ready to help you out.
Okay. And then also, I know that we have our Facebook page, and I know we have, nobody's probably looking at our website. So I'm thinking of putting the little video that on the Facebook permanently. And I don't really know how to set up a permanent something, video on the Facebook. So someone can, if I ask you, someone can help me with that too.
Yes, Maria, please get in touch. We have PR team, which will help you. Otherwise, I will help you. Okay, Maria?
Okay.
So make sure you have an in-person presence. Collect those email addresses because that is your treasure. Send out the agenda 24 hours before with the nice meeting theme. I use ChatGPT to write an email. Sometimes I'm writing emails for 10, 15 clubs. I use ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, this is what is happening in my club. Write an invite for me. Once it gives me the invite, I'll put the link. I'll not put the link in my ChatGPT because it screws it up. I'll add the link by myself and then send it out, mail merge, blasted. If I tell you I've blasted 10,000 emails a week these days. So use that. Use that to your advantage. As Maria said in the starting, to recap, we need to market because we need that new blood, that new energy. That is going to be very helpful for us. And remember those 4 secrets of marketing. You can use the meetup. You can use the Wix. You can create a marketing campaign by sending out those emails 24 hours before with the theme and have a good quality meeting. I cannot understate that if we don't have a good quality meeting, nothing is useful. It has to be good quality. Everyone has to, when they show up on the stage, they need to add value to people. And finally, come up with the innovative open houses. Open houses are a way to gain people too. And closing, always remember, closing, follow those steps. The first thing is connect with them within 24 hours. Ask them their needs. Once you get their needs, tell them that you have mentoring in your club that will help them to meet those needs. Share your story. Create that connection. And once you know you have created the connection, ask them the magic question. Would you like to join? Ramesh, anything?
Yeah, I had a question. Is there a good location we can meet? In the sense, some suggestions about how to find a good location to meet?
Yes. Mountain View Library is very cheap, $7.
Okay, I see.
They are the best, and they have a Wi-Fi and everything.
And we can book like every 2 weeks or something.
Yes, please. Yeah. And it's a fascinating, the City Hall, Mountain View City place. It's really nice. Mountain View Toastmasters meets there.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Also in this library meetup, what is the difference between group and individual? So how does this group work actually? So is group just, we have a District 101 meetup group.
Yes.
And that group has got, what does it have? It has all the lists, all the clubs of the District 101?
No, whenever a club sends it out, they will put it on. So sometimes you might have 50 clubs on district meetup at the same time. So you never stand out. But if you have your own meetup, then they see the themes. Here you don't see the themes or anything. Here it's consistent. Okay, what events happened? So remember, you have to create history also. People can go back. Oh, they are having amazing themes.
Right.
So that is another thing. And another thing I'll tell you, have AI. If you put AI in your club, you'll get members. So have some themes around AI. People will come.
Yeah. One of the problem I'm facing, and that may be very specific to our club, is that there have been so many changes over the terms. Whoever was the VPM and VPPR, they have not done a good job of transition. And now we are completely lost in terms of the login credentials for our website, Meetup, Eventbrite, I don't know, all the different things that we can use for membership. It's all over. And I've been trying for 6 months to find exactly what who has got, and they say, I think this guy has it, I think that guy has it, and then we go back and that guy who has it is not even active anymore. So it's a huge challenge right now. Is there anyone else facing similar, or should I just create a completely new set of credentials for everything? Forget about the one.
I had the same situation happen to me where
Yeah.
people are in a website and an email and a newsletter on Facebook. And so when changes happen, everything gets lost and they ask for validation and someone else's phone number. You can't figure out whose phone number it is until I
Right.
call. So it's really hard, or people don't answer when I'm trying to figure out who was in charge
Yeah,
of it.
exactly. We also have a Google group email distribution list, and that list is also outdated. Now they're not I don't even know who has the credential to update those Google groups. Oh my God.
Perfect. No, start a new one because you don't have time. You're running out of time. You need to start.
Right. I think we got to start a new one completely.
Any other questions, anyone?
I can make a suggestion on when you get your accounts aligned, you can get a Google number that is good for the club that you can open up all the accounts with, since they want a phone number. And then you set up a Gmail account that is for the club. And that way, when you pass on the credentials to the next set of officers, everybody has access to the admin rights of this Google account and the Google phone number. And then they can, from there, if they need to do anything with their Facebook or their other accounts, it's all tied to one central account for the club, not to a single person. We've been fortunate because one of our officers who's no longer with the club, he's been willing to answer that. He's always makes himself available, but it's much easier just to get a Google number that's for the club and a Google account that's just for the club. And that way you don't have to just keep chasing down phone numbers. So that's my suggestion.
No,
And you
that's
can
a good
create that.
suggestion.
Yeah, you can create that and then you can change it. You can just change it to that, and that way you have it there for the future.
Yeah.
Question, Anna, when you say Google number, is that like a phone number, or what do you mean by Google number?
Yes, it's a phone number. It's just a regular phone number that you can create for your Toastmasters club. And that way it's not somebody's personal cell phone or personal phone number. It's just a Google phone number that you created for the club.
So whose
Yeah,
phone does it?
Anna, actually, that is a good suggestion. I think somebody thought about it in the past, but instead of creating a single club email, Gmail, they have a Gmail for president, Gmail for PPPM, BPM, PPE, and so we have like club emails, at least 6, 7 emails. So that is also a problem, because then someone doesn't transition very well, then they don't know how to do the. So I think we need to. You have a good suggestion that we can do one email for the whole club, right? Just one common email ID for the club, and that's the one we use for all the credentials.
Yes, I think that that's the best way, because then you just have it in a document. Everybody knows what the password is, and then it gets handed over from officer group to officer group.
Yeah.
And, provided you don't have any bad actors. I mean, obviously, if somebody's going in there and deleting things or changing things, then you're going to have to change the password. But usually people are pretty good about just, once their officer role is done, they leave it alone.
Okay. Thanks, Anna.
Does anyone else have any questions? Feel free to speak up, or any tips that you can share. If not, and I have a question. I think one of the things, certainly I have been on the other side, I'm along with everyone here. Sometimes the group, the club becomes so weak that only 1 or 2 persons still very passionate about it. So they need some resources, even creating flyer and things I've seen, not to the best quality that we can attract people who do the club offices to turn to and for some hands-on coaching.
Yeah, so that's under the umbrella of both the club growth director as well as the PR, because obviously when a club is weak and the numbers have dwindled, there's a cause for that, but the effect is now you have low numbers and you need to attract new members. So the solution obviously is to market it, and it really just takes 2 passionate people that can turn it around. I am a firm believer in that because I've seen it time and time and time again as a club coach, as all throughout the years that I've served on the club growth director under the club, still be passionate about it. But now it's getting strategic, and we've had the meetings here to say that Meetup works, but Robert Costa, who is also on this call tonight, he goes out to LinkedIn and he joins all the different groups. So let's say that you have more of a storytelling club or a humor club, like what I'm trying to launch. His advice is to go out to LinkedIn and you start following these groups that are specialized in that. So you have or even if it's a corporate club, then you can go in and start following anybody who is in semiconductor or who's doing rocket science. And then you talk about public speaking, and you can start attracting people by commenting on some of other people's posts, and then you can share your information on your club as well. Networking is a key piece of it. It's still that person-to-person invite into the club. It would be nice if we could just put a banner out there and everybody sees it and that entices them. But if you think about how you got invited into Toastmasters or how you became aware of Toastmasters, it's because somebody invited you. 90% of the time, you do have those hungry people that are like, I need to go have professional development in public speaking, and they go and seek out Toastmasters. But that's rare in comparison to somebody saying, you know what, I think you would be a good storyteller. Why don't you come check out our club? So those personal invites are still very, very powerful. And that's why networking is a key piece to all of this. But it just takes 2 passionate people. And it does. And the effort to network is obviously a lot easier because we have so many social media entities to do that from. But I think professionally, LinkedIn is probably going to be our best advice. And it's getting better because now they have like an AI buddy. So you can ask LinkedIn for some questions and it'll start to funnel groups to you. Are there groups on here that are interested in science? Are there groups in here that are interested in reading? Are there groups in here that are interested in public speaking? Are there groups in here that are in humor? And it starts to funnel some of that information to you.
Yeah, I agree. We really need to connect more on LinkedIn. I had tried a few times, liked our posts, but more people should we should connect. When we connect, we're stronger. Yeah.
Hey, Anna,
Yes.
there's also a Toastmasters International LinkedIn group. It has 50,000 people that are members. So maybe people would like to advertise there, join it, and then advertise on that group.
Absolutely. You just tell them they just tell them what club you're a part of and they invite you in. There's a whole mass of people that are there. I've gotten a lot of guests to the Humorous Club. My only advice for everybody that's on the call is that you make sure that you list your club time and the time zone, because it's literally everybody around the globe. And if it's not clear, then they show up at 6 o'clock their time zone, but it's not 6 o'clock your time zone. And then that's a missed opportunity. But I've gotten people from there. So everybody go find Toastmasters International on LinkedIn and become a member. And then you can start just dropping your flyer in there or talking about what's neat about your club.
Thank you, Anna. I think, that should be our long-term goal. But right now we have 1 month, 2 months to add more members. So really appreciate Abhijit shared all the low-hanging advice. I just want to share my own club, just very quick. I feel like 3 things. Philip was there to witness our club this morning. We meet 7:30, so hard to find members, and we struggled for a long time. But I think recently we made it to President Distinguished. So I think the 3 things we did well is, one is most of our guests, almost all of them, came from Meetup. Most people actually replied, they don't really join. I don't know if Tam said we should just get their email before they even come to the meeting. Maybe that's a tip. The second thing is the team energy is really important. The reason it was overflowing this morning was we had a in-person meeting. It wasn't like an in-person meeting, but it was just a dinner, like group dinner. So that got everyone. And thirdly, I think really good club content meeting because they get value. We have 3 speeches, 3 evaluations. And on the side, Philip and I hope to drum up show and tell our leadership experience. So that really got the club took off. So energy, good meeting, and good social media.
I think those are all great strategies, especially, I mean, there's strategies that you have to employ to bring in just 1 or 2 new members, and strategies that need to be employed when you want to bring in more than 4 or 5 members, right? Mm-hmm. And the strategies to bring in 4 or 5 is an open house and Speechcraft, because Speechcraft really shows a value add. Open house is, everybody putting their best foot forward and showcasing a really good club meeting, but that should become the standard when you have your club meetings. It shouldn't just be like, okay, we're gonna really do a good job in this open house, and then the next meeting it's back to disorganization and who's going to take this role and who's going to take that role, right? Because that's probably why the club is, people need to know that there's value, and there is value in Toastmasters, but we have to respect everybody's time and try to just keep it succinct and tight and start it on time and do what we say and say what we do.
Yeah, I realized that when working with struggling clubs, so I studied that's the long-term strategies. The club has to be excellent to attract growth, otherwise people won't stay. We've seen this over and over. So I studied to train the struggling clubs VP, just focus on club meeting, Philip is part of that, knows a little bit about it, but yeah.
I do want to share this though, to kind of give everybody hope, is that we are seeing, and Abhijit can confirm, but we are seeing growth for the first time in District 101. So people are looking for Toastmasters. I don't know if we're just doing a better job of marketing overall across the district, or that there's an energy that people are looking for Toastmasters, but we do have growth numbers for the first time since 2016. So there are people out there. We just need to shine that neon light to say, this is where you want to be. This is the club you want to join.
Thank you, Anna. I think Abhijit is back. Abhijit. Anyone else have any questions? If you have any ideas, anything, I'll be the incoming club growth director. I will get all the tips from Anna and from every one of you, even sometimes questions, challenges. That helps too, because it inspires us to find solutions, and that will benefit all.
I'll give you a suggestion, Wendy.
Mhm.
So Wendy, so my suggestion, and this has worked for my club because I've over doubled 2.5 times the size of the club since I came into it, is that I have 2 meetings a week that have anywhere from 15 to 20 people every meeting twice a week. Okay? I have
Get
anywhere.
those people to attend your meeting. You must have some magic.
Oh, it's beyond that. I'm not a stereotypical cookie cutter Toastmasters. I differentiate because I'm specialized, and I focus towards a specific audience for entrepreneurs, and then for job seekers and people that are in transition in their career. So I focus on 2 different audiences. And, whereas a lot of people just have a cookie cutter Toastmasters club that has just speeches and table topics, and you can get that anywhere. But my club is completely different because we are specialized, and because of that, we address different segments, and therefore we get a lot of, and we also do a heavy marketing and all that. But that's the reason why we're getting such large growth. And Anna can validate everything I'm saying, because we have a lot of guests and we have a huge conversion rate. So I'm not trying to blow my own horn. I was quiet through the entire meeting, but what I didn't hear is, you have a stereotypical Toastmasters club. Okay, so how are you as a Toastmasters club any different from another club? Because you can join any club. Yeah, you could do all the names and have all that to get the hooks, but unless you have a value add that you are something different than another club down the street, then you're not going to get the people to come into your club. So with that, I'll get off my soapbox, and there's my 5 cents. Instead of my 2 cents, I give you 5 cents.
That's priceless, because what you said is the marketing, branding, right? Your club.
I have a brand. I have a major brand.
I still have a question for you. When you start, how do you get critical mass? Because if it's just me or one of us or 2 of us may not have so much energy or expertise.
It's because I'm retired now, and that's because I put in almost a full-time job into my club, and it's a lot of work on me, but I have like 8 or 9 meetup instances that I leverage, not just 1, 9. So I mean, I've taken it to the next level, and I'm not your stereotypical Toastmasters, right? I have a special formula that works, and Anna can to validate everything I'm saying. So it may not be for everybody, but it's what's the formula that's worked for my club. So.
Well, we can adapt it. We definitely want every detail of your formula and your magic.
Well, I wouldn't say it's magic. It's just it's a formula that works and is proven.
Okay,
So,
great.
For me and for my club, at least.
Okay.
But you can reach out to me, or Anna can introduce you, and we can talk further offline.
I do want to. We should amplify your success.
Well, like I say, I'm not a bragger, and I'm just but I was in the October
amazing
October Toastmasters magazine, so in what I'm doing. So feel free to check that out. All right.
Yes.
I'll be quiet now.
Tell your story. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, I will come to you. Thank you so much. Okay, Abhijit, I'll return control to Abhijit.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Any questions, anything, we can turn around the clubs. We just need to find the best practices other clubs are using. I'm amazed by these community clubs, Milpitas Toastmasters. Another one is TAM's True Talking Toastmasters. Another one, Woman Lead. I'm leading them in right now. But all these clubs have 30 plus members. They're doing something which other clubs are not doing. If we can learn from them, we can all have a thriving club. And you can ask me, email me, call me anytime. I'm at your service. Thank you so much for coming.